Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We've been focusing on the truck. We're going to do some ribs. So today we're going to smoke them in a offset smoker. We got 2 spare ribs on there, alright? And another thing that we're going to use today is we're going to use some chorizo de San Manuel all-purpose seasoning, alright? And then this one's going to be steak seasoning, which will be kind of interesting considering that's pork. But hey, I'm sure it'll still taste good. They don't know if they're pork or beef. Another thing that we're going to do towards the end that I'm actually interested in is we're going to use this grill foil, okay? But we're also going to use butcher paper on the other ribs, alright? I want to see what the difference is, right? I keep hearing different things. I've used them both in different times. Let's see how they turn out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So with that being said, let's get started. Spare ribs look pretty good. I don't think there's a whole lot of fat. And another thing is it's going to render in the heat anyway, right? So we don't have to do a whole lot of cleaning up. One thing that I do like to do, especially with the big back ribs, I like getting in the back of them, right? There's this membrane here, and I'll show you here in a minute. There's membrane in the back that I like to pull out. I don't think you really need it. So for me, I like to pull it out. What's going to be good, and your biggest tool is going to be just paper towel, right? You're going to be able to grab it, better grip, pull that back, and I'll show you what that looks like. Grab that right there. Grab the rib, and as you can see, once you start to pull on that, again, utilize that paper towel. That paper towel is going to make life so much easier. You can see it starts to pull back. Just get as much of it as you can, right? Don't be afraid to get physical with it. It's just one of those things, you got to get it. Good. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and flip this. When we flip this on the other side, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to season this side. Alright, same thing, apply it. Alright, go ahead and lay this layer down all the way across. We're going to come all the way through, good layer. And then, look at that color right there, just bright red, right? We're going to let this kind of sit on there for a little bit and make sure that this seasoning gets right into the meat. Alright. Big difference. Look at that color. It looks beautiful, nice and red, right? That's that all-purpose seasoning right here. This is some great stuff. I've used it on other stuff and it's really good. Alright guys, this is the second rack of spare ribs. Alright, I just kind of wanted to get more of a close-up so that you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at. What I wanted to show you is the back side. There's that membrane that I was telling you about. Okay. This is that membrane that I've been talking about. That's what we want to take off. So I want to give you a little bit of a close-up as to how that looks. All right. Okay. You can see how that's just starting to come right off. You see that? That's exactly what you want. You start pulling all the way back. Oh, see? You release. That's okay. You grab it again. Hold on to your ribs and just keep pulling all the way back. Good. All right, you got that off. All right. Alright guys, now next for the seasoning, we're going to change it up. The first rack, we did that all-purpose seasoning. For this rack, we're going to do the steak seasoning, like I said, so a little bit different. This is pork, this is steak, but no matter what, I bet you it'll still taste really good. Some good stuff right here. When you apply it, same thing, nice and even all the way across. Okay. That's okay if you get a little bit too much. Hey, look, you're going to have it in the grill. You're going to be moving it around. Some of this might fall off a little bit. Be generous with it. Just apply it. Right. All right. Let's go ahead and flip it over to the other side. Flip it over. All right. There we go. Same thing. Be nice and generous. We'll apply it evenly all the way across. Now this one's not going to have the same color as the other one, right? This is going to have that nice red color that we saw in the other one, but still, I bet it's going to taste just as good, if not better. Alright, now this is seasoned, it's ready to go. We're done with it. We're going to go ahead and wrap it, just like we did the other one. Not wrapped completely, but just so that it has something to be protected. Just like that, okay? Alright, we'll set that one off to the side. And here's the first one. Look at that color. You can see already just the juices that are coming up, and they're grabbing all that seasoning. You can see that nice little glow. That's what you want, guys. That's when you know that it is getting absorbed, right? It's pulling in all that nice seasoning in there. This one will start to do it eventually, right? This has been put in here for at least 5-10 minutes ever since I've been talking to you guys. In time, this one will do the same thing. So, all right, guys, now that we're out in the grill, a couple of things, right? This is what we're gonna use. So we're gonna use this Royal Oak. All right, it's lump charcoal. We're gonna use that. That's gonna be our heat, right? Until we can get our pecan wood. So I like to use the pecan wood. This is good stuff. This is about as big as we want to go. Obviously, I got some more. They all look about the same size. I'll probably split these in half. That'll give it that pecan flavor, as well as add to that heat. But we're going to utilize the charcoal just to maintain it, right? That charcoal is going to last a lot longer than this will, and this is mainly for that added flavor of the pecan wood. All right. Another thing that we're going to use is a pear burner, right? It's just a pear burner here off of a propane tank. We're going to use this to get everything started, or else you're going to have that really nasty white smoke as everything's trying to get up to temperature. So we'll use this to help us get everything up to temperature, get everything fired up, and then we'll let the charcoal and the pecan wood do the rest. So now what we got here is this coal. We want to make sure we spread this out, right? We want a good even layer. Grab some of this stuff that fell down here, bring it up on top. There we go. So now we got a good bed, right? And what we're gonna do is we need to get this nice and hot. All right, now really quick, another thing that I want to share with you guys, you don't want that nasty white smoke. This stuff's gonna smoke. It's gonna take time until it gets up to heat. Me personally, I like to open up the chamber. I don't want that smoke to get inside of here. It'll give it a nasty taste. So while we're doing this, let's leave this open. Once it gets hot, we can close it, and then we can get everything good and hot inside the chamber so we can get ready to clean all this stuff off the grate. All right, guys, so I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an idea. It might be really hard to see, but there is some smoke coming out of this thing. I still have the pear burner kind of going. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Now, I don't know if you can tell, there's some smoke right there. That smoke is not necessarily the best smoke that we want, right? It's still trying to catch. So we want to stay away from that. But also, if you take a look, we've got a really good, they're taking off really well. That's why I like these coals. They take off very, very well. So now what I want to do is, you can see the center's kind of already going. You can tell that side and this side here, they still need some help. So I'm going to take the pear burner, and like I said, we're going to hit that side and this side, make sure that we have a good even layer of fire going across, and then we'll get ready to put our pecan wood inside the fire. So we went ahead and we split our wood. All right, they're all about the same size. What we're going to do is, if you look down here, it's nice and even. You can see the fire, it's got a good little spread. That's perfect, that's exactly what we want. Now use some tongs, and what I want to do is I'm going to put it right over the coals, just right there. All right, we'll put one there. We'll put one right here. And the last one I'm going to put right in the back, just so that it kind of stays hot. And what I like to do is I like moving them kind of in this direction, right? Now you can see it's going to start to smoke up again. You don't want to close your chamber yet, right? You want this to get hot. That white smoke, I don't know if you can see it now, it's probably a lot better. You don't want that in your grill, right? You don't want that trapped inside the chamber. It's going to give it a really bad taste. But already, look at the wood. You can already see it's taken off. That's exactly what we want. That's perfect. Once this wood takes off and it gets really good and hot, see the smoke goes right away. There's no more smoke. So that's perfect. That's what we want. Now we'll let this kind of calm down a little bit. Let the fire go. We'll let it calm down. Then we can go ahead and close our firebox. Then we'll get the pit really nice and hot, and then let's go ahead and clean it. Alright, now we've got both racks on the grill. They're a little bit big, so I had to kind of stagger them. Here's the first one, there's the second rack. Now, key thing is going to be temperature, right? We want to make sure we keep an eye on the temperature. We're going to try to keep it around 200 degrees. I believe these have to be at 165 to be done. It is pork, so we'll keep it around 200 and do a slow smoke on them. And won't open it up until we get ready to check the temperature, the internal temperature. Okay, as you can see, we're already over that 200. This isn't too bad. I'd like to keep it right there, 200, 225, but it is also still going up. So what I'd like to do is, I'm sure you guys have all know about this little trick. We're gonna go ahead and close this right here, okay? All right, guys, we're about 10 minutes in. We got really good temperature. We're keeping an eye on it. We're sitting right between 200 and 225. So we are doing very well. I went ahead and I opened the vent back up right here, okay? So that's allowing all of that to just flow right through the chamber and out the stack, okay? So we're looking really good. I'm really liking the temperature. All right, but again, this is not one of those jobs or, you know, one of those grills where you can just leave it alone like these Traegers and be done with it, right? Those are great, but this is more hands-on, guys. We got to stay on top of this thing. If you guys can see in there, I know it's kind of hard. The two pieces of wood that we put in there are already dying out. They're about done. This one here, it's hot. We need to move it. So let's shift this around, right? We got to maintain this temperature and feed it. Obviously the firebox is open, so our temperature is down to 200. We'll go ahead and close this and try to get our temperature right back up. Our fire is looking pretty strong, but we also got to understand that the original coals that we put in there at the very beginning, they're probably pretty low, right? So we got to feed it. We got to make sure that we got some really good heat coming off of those coals. I think right now, for the most part, we're probably running off of these two pieces of pecan wood that we put in there as a heat source, which isn't bad, but we also can't rely too much on just that source. All right, so we added some more coals. We got a good layer again. That is what was left of the pecan wood that was in there. I'm gonna wait and let this kind of heat up really good. You can see it's taken off. Man, I love this coal. This is some good stuff. Highly recommend it. It's really, really good, and it burns very clean. Look at that coal. Looks great. It's doing amazing. That's exactly what we want. The bottom's still getting plenty of oxygen. I love this. This is what it's all about. I hope you try it. There's nothing like it, especially on a nice, clear day. All right, so our coals are looking good. Love it. We're gonna go ahead and take another piece of wood here, and we're gonna lay it right there, just right on top, right smack in the center. Just watch it take off. Temperature's still looking good. Actually, our temperature went up a little bit. That's perfect. That's good. It's all about management, guys. Look at that thing just take off. Beautiful. Looking good. I wanted to share this with you guys because you got to understand, this pit behind me is one of those things that you have to stay on top of it, right? We're doing a great job with managing the fire. We're doing a great job with managing the temperature. Now we just got to be patient. This is definitely one of those things where you kind of go outside. It's a beautiful day. You're going to be with friends, family. You know, your kids are running around. You're just enjoying it, right? You're just out here enjoying it. Nothing against Traeger. I know I made a comment earlier today about Traeger, or any of those other pellet smokers. They're great. You know, sometimes you just want to get home, put something on the grill, get it fired up, and get it going. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to knock it. I think that serves its purpose. For me personally, I enjoy this. I enjoy taking care of it. I enjoy hanging out. I enjoy the conversations that you start to have with friends, family, you know, your kids running around or whatever. You get to watch them. You're just hanging out. You're outside. I like being outside. That's why I enjoy doing this. Again, grills or any of those other smokers that they have out there that are electronic or pellet, those are great, guys. Don't get me wrong. They're great. They do good. But for me, this is where it's at. Alright guys, we are 1 hour and 20 minutes in. I went ahead and I added a little bit more charcoal, try to get the fire, you know, back alive, and we are on our way. Temperature again, just like always, right? You open up that box, it's going to suffer a little bit. Sorry about that, the kids are back there playing around. Anyway, the temperature definitely suffered just a little bit, but look at our fire. We are looking good again. Alright guys, we are officially at 1 hour and 30 minutes into the smoke. What I want to do now is I want to take them inside. I want to wrap them up. Get them wrapped up. We're going to do the foil and then we're going to do the butcher paper and see which one comes out better. More to come. As you can see, we got the fire going, keeping everything nice and hot, right? Fire management. It's key, guys. Keep an eye on it. Alright guys, so we got the first rack of ribs here. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. The second rack, this is definitely not big enough, so what we're going to do is we'll kind of start wrapping it right a little bit, and we're definitely going to have to use some more on this one, but that's okay. Alright, so now they're back in the smoker. We got both of them. Here's rack number 1, rack number 2. They did shrink just a little bit. Now I can actually fit them in there, which is good. All right, we're gonna leave them in there. The fire is looking really good. I like where we're at. Now let's go ahead and close this. Get our temperature back up. Obviously it's way low. We had this thing open while we were doing the wrap, but our fire is looking good and healthy. So let's close this up. Guys, we got it all done. All right, it's been 3 hours. We're just 10 minutes shy of 3 hours of smoking these ribs. So now we're gonna cut into them. Let's see what they look like. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks good. You guys can see right here, you can see some bones sticking out right there. That's perfect. We probably got a couple more down here. Not too sure, but other than that, we did check temperature. Temperature is good. Now let's go ahead and move over to the second rack. And that, look at that, guys. Amazing. Look at that. Same thing. You can see the bone right here starting to pull back. This is great, especially on this bigger side, right? So again, what I was kind of calling this, you know, if you've seen with brisket, you know, you'd call this. This side would be the flat, this would be the tip. I kind of put the tip over towards the flame, right, where all the heat's hitting it. But look at that bone right there. That looks excellent. And then right over here on this side, if you can see, there's some bone sticking out right there as well. So I think overall, guys, we did a great job. This looks really good. I'm looking forward to cutting into it. I did notice the foil got hot. I mean, it definitely worked on it a lot quicker. The butcher paper, not so much, right? But it's okay. The butcher paper did its job either way. I did notice that it was a little bit lower temperatures. Not so sure that it has something to do with the size of the ribs, but either way, guys, this looks really good. My wife whipped up some really good sides for it. I'll take a picture of that or a quick little video so that you guys see what it all looks like on a plate. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time. I hope that this was a good educational video for you guys. Please subscribe and like and try it out. Go out there, try it out. Do this. It's worth it. It's worth it. You guys have a great day, and we will see you next time.